back for another video. Getting some really nice weather in Ireland at the minute, so trying to make the most of it, get out as much as I can. So that's why I'm back working on my 32 peak project. So I put a video out already where I've hiked peak number 1 and 2 in counties Kildare and Meath, and today I'm working on peaks 3 and 4. It's a bit of an easy one as well. This one I've never actually done it before, but from what I've read, I don't think it's too hard. I think it's just the ground conditions are the worst thing. It's pretty boggy, pretty wet. It's also, this one mountain range spans the 2 counties, so it's kind of doing one hike, but it ticks off the highest point in both counties in Laois and Offaly. So it's kind of 2 for the price of 1, which is makes everything a little bit easier. As usual, I've got a couple of cameras with me. I'm trying out something different today. I've got a camera called an Agfa Clack with me. It's a pretty common camera, very cheap. They're only about 20 euros. You'd see a lot of them around kind of vintage shops and second-hand shops, but what I've actually done is I've taken the lens apart. It's got what's called a meniscus lens, and that means it's just got one piece of glass in it. It's like a concave piece of glass, and that's what projects the image onto the film. But I've actually taken the lens apart and flipped that lens around, so now I guess it's more of a convex shape. I've done this before with a different camera, and it gives quite an interesting look. It's quite a kind of strange or ethereal look. It very much blurs the edges of the frame and kind of warps them slightly. But if you do the conversion right, the centre of the frame should still look pretty sharp. So that's what I'm testing today. I've got a roll of Ilford 3200 in that camera. So yeah, today is just about kind of testing that camera out and seeing if I've done the conversion right and if I can catch any interesting images with it. Okay, so looks like I've made it already. Pretty easy hike, to be honest. Only took me about 30 minutes. Underfoot conditions weren't great. It's pretty wet, but yeah, I really can't complain about the weather. Yeah, I think I'm just going to pull my cameras out here. I'm going to take a few shots of this little marker here at the top. I'll grab a few with the Agfa Clack. I've just pulled the Agfa Clack out there. It's a lovely camera. Comes with a nice little case. But I was just thinking there, I think I've made a pretty bad mistake. I've completely forgot that this is a fixed shutter lens camera, and I think the shutter speed is at like 1/30th of a second. But I've loaded the camera with Ilford 3200, so obviously I'm not going to be able to get the shutter speed to try and expose this film for ISO 3200. So what I'm going to have to do is pull the ISO of the film down in development. I'm going to have to pull it way down, probably down to about ISO 100, because it's a very sunny day today. I think this has an f/16 lens on it. I think there's 2 apertures you can choose. One is f/8 and the other I'm hoping is f/16, so that might help me a little bit. But yeah, pulling Ilford Delta 3200 down to about ISO 100 is not the best thing to be doing. I have done it before. I have pulled Ilford Delta 3200 before. I think I pulled it down to ISO 800 though. I've never pulled it down as far as 100, so interesting to see what that looks like. From what I've read about Ilford 3200, it is a pretty forgiving film. It does push and pull pretty well. I think a lot of people say it's actually an ISO 1600 film or 800 film maybe, but Ilford just advertises it as a 3200 ISO film, just because I guess there's not many of them out there, and it's a nice marketing move for them. But yeah, I think it should be okay. But yeah, I definitely should have picked a slower ISO film for this camera. But yeah, I'm going to line up a few shots here now, take them and see how they come out. This camera does have a close-up lens on it as well. I'm not sure how that's going to work now that I've flipped the lens, but it looks like it goes down to about 1 meter, 3 feet. So I'm going to give that a go, see how that looks. I've shot the clack there. I'm going for ISO 100. I didn't meter at all because at the end of the day it's a fixed shutter. My aperture is pretty fixed as well. I went at f16. So my thinking is when I'm developing it, I just pull the film to ISO 100 and that should be okay. But I am going to do a couple of quick checks here. I do have my County light meter. So I've put it onto shutter mode so I can dial in the shutter. So I've dialed it in there at 1/30th of a second. ISO is at 100. And when I do my check there, it's given me kind of f32, which I shot at f16. So that means I'm actually going to have to pull my film even further. I'm probably going to have to pull the film to ISO 50. I'm not sure how that's going to come out. I've never gone that low before, but it gives me a good range. You'd probably be okay at 100 as well, really. It's only a stop of light and it is a pretty forgiving film. So, but yeah, that's kind of what I have to remember now during development, is to pull the film right down. I also have my panoramic camera with me, my 35mm panoramic camera. It's Horizon 202. It's a swing lens camera. I thought it'd be good for taking some wide angle shots when you're up on top of these mountains. I have a roll of expired film in that camera. It's called Perut's C200. I've shot a roll of it before. Colours are a little bit wonky and the grain is a little bit excessive, but I still thought it'd be an interesting one to throw into the swing lens cameras and see what sort of images I can capture with it. Yes, just found this kind of random post out here in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, gonna grab a couple of quick shots with it. It's nice and weather beaten like myself. Again, I'm going to try one with the close-up lens, try and get some of the detail that's on the wood there. I'm not sure how that's going to come out. Hopefully it does. And yeah, I might grab one image with the horizon as well, just try and get one kind of panoramic view, taking in all the area that's surrounding the post. But yeah, a couple of nice easy shots. Yeah, it really is a remote part of the world out here. Really feel like you're in the middle of nowhere. Can't see any houses. It's just nothing but like hills and bogs and trees. It's proper wilderness, which I like. I think there's too many houses in Ireland at the minute. I know there's a housing shortage, but I think that's mainly in Dublin. When you go down the country, it's nice to be able to get some clean views. No houses, no highways, nothing like that. Just some nice kind of quiet, peaceful nature and a bit of an escape from the hustle and bustle of the city. Yeah, it's just on the way back to the car now. Nice easy hike. Nice to get out with the cameras. Not sure how great the images are, to be honest. It's more just getting out and experimenting with a few cameras and seeing what images you can create. So happy to see how the images from the from the Clack come out. Hopefully they'll look okay. But yeah, that's another 2 peaks marked off my 32 peak challenge. So what have we got left? 28 peaks left to go. From the research that I've done, I think without a doubt the 4 that I've done so far are the 4 easiest. I think from here on we start getting into some proper hiking, start getting into some bigger elevations, and I'm sure start taking some more kind of interesting images. But I've enjoyed these 2. Been just nice to get out, especially on a day like today. The weather's absolutely amazing. You don't get this too often in Ireland. You still end up with wet feet though, such as this country. Yeah, I think that's all from today's video. Hope you enjoyed, and hopefully I'll have another video out on this project very soon. Thanks a lot, guys.